Are you tired of depending on other people to tell you what's wrong with you? Have you had enough with psychiatrists, psychologists, and therapists throwing medication at you and strategies that don't bring you any long-term, real mental health improvement? Well, I'm here today to teach you my DIY trauma healing technique that's based in the laws of physics, epigenetics, psychology, neurology, mysticism, shamanism, because I know when something's true, it's true in multiple places. So recently I was lucky enough. Let me introduce myself. I am Kerry Blaser, the reincarnation of Mary Magdalene, the divine feminine. And recently I was super lucky and I was on a small group discussion with Dr. Bruce Lipton. Well, who is he? Dr. Bruce Lipton is like the godfather of epigenetics. Epi meaning before genetics. So what happens before genetics? And he brought up this Einstein quote, which is perfect, right? Einstein said, the field is the sole governing agency of the particle. And Dr. Lipton explained the field meaning the energy field, our souls, because physicists have proven that we all have energy fields or souls. The particle meaning the body. And he also reiterated that less than 1% of disease is caused by our genetics. So in this video that I'm going to share here, he will show us, explain why this is true. So let me share my screen and pull up his video, The Power of Epigenetics. Here we go.
Whatever picture you hold in your mind, the brain releases complementary chemistry that matches that picture, and it releases it into the body. And the chemistry of the blood is what controls the genes and the behavior.
So the consciousness he's talking about is our energy body. So the thoughts are, do I engage in a lot of fearful, shameful, guilt thoughts? Am I constantly anxious and running from myself and depressed and I'm not enough? Or do I love myself? Do I spend time in my love, compassion, and enlightenment? And I had a very traumatic childhood. So in my childhood, my, situation was that my nervous system was calibrated to resonate, meaning be a vibrational match, like create fear, guilt, and shame. So I projected that outside of myself, and that was my experience of the world. Lots of fear, lots of guilt, lots of shame. But then healing over the past 10 years, I realized that my problem is I don't know how to operate my soul, which I will teach you about in a second. It's my DIY trauma healing technique, the free ebook below. But when I learned to operate my soul, my energy field, then my particle, my body, my hormones, I don't get sick anymore. I never got COVID. I haven't been sick in like 6-7 years, so I own that, and so my energy field is very high vibrating, and viruses, bacteria, cancer does not resonate with that. We know cancer resonates at below 100 hertz, where enlightenment, when the body, the soul is at enlightenment, that's 700 to 1,000 hertz. So how can 100 hertz cancer live in 700 to 1,000 hertz? It can't, it dies. This is the point. Let's watch some more.
Children, when adopted into a family where there's cancer running in that family, the adopted child will get the same family cancer. But the point, the adopted child has totally different genetics. What was the point? It was being adopted into a family where the programming of that child is what caused the cancer. It's consciousness who releases the chemistry to the environment that can.
The conscious is the energy body, is the soul. So the soul releases so that we can see ourselves. The body is a mirror of the soul. And one of the lessons I'll teach you is how the universe is a mirror, and that's grounded in the laws of physics as well.
Controls the genes, and you can change your consciousness, and you can change your environment. And all of a sudden I said, oh my God, we were programmed to be victims. It turns out we are masters of our genetic activity. And this is the new science called epigenetics.
So, when I found epigenetics, I was like, whoa, and Dr. Bruce Lipton is in my book, My Inner Heroine, Exploring Feminine Pain. And that's my story of how I went from a suicide attempt to embracing my shamanic gifts to experiencing enlightenment and helping men like Andrew Tate, Justin Waller, 2 Fire Academy instructors who all led me back to JC from my childhood. He is currently the head of global security at GoDaddy, former FBI. So let's talk more about how you can engage in this DIY trauma healing technique and learn how to operate your soul. I'm going to share my free ebook that's linked below, the 6 Divine Feminine Self-Love Strategies that it's all my teachings that are in the book, but it's summarized in a 9-page free ebook for ease, and it has links to some video laws of physics videos and one video I made about some healing that I did. So let me bring it up again, and I'll show you, kind of run it through you so you can see how implementing this into your life, as well as some other tips that I'll have while I go over it, is really all you need. Okay? The more connected you are to me, buy my book. If you want a session, cool, but really you don't even need a session. Just keep reading the ebook, read my book. I have a meditation and shamanic drumming video on YouTube that you can use to get super connected to me, and that's all free for you. Okay? So please use it let's all co-create heaven on earth by loving ourselves enough and bringing love out of our hearts enough and creating a community of love, compassion, and enlightenment. But enlightenment includes healthy boundaries. Okay, so I'm not a social democrat. No. I voted for Trump. We need healthy boundaries so that we can decide this is our responsibility, that is your responsibility, and here are our problems, and we have a lot at home. So let's address our own problems, like in our own, I had to address the problems in my own cup of love before I could come out and make these YouTube videos to help anybody else. Change is an inside job, and so we got to change our hearts to change our reality. So let me share my screen again, and I will share my ebook. Okay, so here's my ebook, and the first lesson is called Appreciate, Learn, and Forgive equals ego death. So this teaches you why appreciation is important, why learning is important, like self-reflection, learning to turn your wounds into wisdom, your pain into purpose. And I do have a YouTube video that goes into more in-depth that you can check out on my channel. Then the next lesson is Love Hierarchy, explains why engaging in self-love comes first. And by self-love, I mean a healthy diet, healthy exercise. And exercise for men and women aren't the same. Like what brings hormonal balance to a man is different than what brings hormonal balance to a woman. The most hormonal balancing, cortisol reducing activity for a man is chopping wood. Men need to hammer shit. I'm just saying. And so if you have a sex addiction, it's probably because you're hammering with the wrong appendage, if you know what I mean. So women need other activities to balance their hormones and reduce cortisol. Women need walking and gentle yoga. Okay. Men and women are different. I got an innie, they got an outie. What works for me is not exactly the same that works for them. Okay. So let's go on to number 3. Number 3, learn to surf the waves of life, meaning learn to surf through your emotions and express your emotions in a healthy way. And then when you learn how to surf, you can go bigger and bigger waves and accomplish a lot more, like I did. When I learned, I started on a 1-foot wave. Now I'm at, Mount Everest size waves, coming out as the reincarnation of Mary Magdalene. That's gnarly. And I only accepted it last year after I published my book. And that's all on my website if you want to check it out. But that's a pretty big wave to surf, if you know what I'm saying. That's a pretty big wave. And then down here at the bottom, there's a video about how the laws of physics explain why that's true. Map of Consciousness by Dr. David R. Hawkins explains how our souls communicate through our emotions, enlightenment being an emotion. And how that vibrates different frequencies and how that works. Okay, so the universe is a mirror, my favorite wisdom to help people in their relationships. If you're seeing selfishness in your partner, that is your soul showing you the selfishness inside of you. Now, they're probably selfish too. That's why we attracted them. We attract what we are so we can see ourselves. But if you want to improve your relationship, you got to take responsibility and accountability for your own crap. Okay, so this is what this helps you do. And then there's a laws of physics video showing you why that's true. The next one is changing the world is an inside job. Our external reality is a projection of our internal reality. If my best friend and I go see a movie, what I resonate with in the movie, what draws my attention, my perception, are the lessons that and kind of resonance that my soul needs me to see. and my best friend needs other things. Both are equally valid. Both are, right. But even though the movie's the same, our interaction with the movie is different. And this is what I'm saying. So if you're experiencing a lot of external challenges, then that's showing you the internal challenges that you have. And even though the environment changes, the internal doesn't change. Look at Minnesota and all the fraud. I mean, we invite people into our country to steal all our money. But look at how Somalia, they're pirates. So just because you pick up a person from one location, put them in another, it doesn't change their internal state. It doesn't change how they interact with the world. It doesn't change what they perceive as being fearful. Why is federal authority so fearful to progressives? Do they have a devouring father wound? Is their perception of reality skewed by their subconscious fear that they're unaware of? Because they're not conscious, they're unaware. That's my contention. So there's also a laws of physics video here showing you why that's true and showing you why when you spend time in my energy, just by reading the ebook or the book or my, meditation and drumming video, then I will naturally help you vibrate a lot faster. So you'll get to enlightenment faster because based on the laws of physics, the highest vibrating energy is the most transformative energy. So I'm the fastest metrodome in that experiment, if you check it out. Then the last one is pain is an initiation process to personal growth. It's not a punishment. We are multidimensional divine beings. As a multidimensional divine being, why do I need to be punished? Punishment's about control. That's the lie. That's the matrix, and so Christianity, about control. I'm here to confront that. Anyway, let me stop sharing and finish up here. But I hope that the ebook is helpful for you. Please reach out with any questions. You can go on my website, check out my YouTube. There's tons for free to help you let go of therapy, embrace your own kind of capabilities to learn how to operate your own soul and go at this, and teach others, share with others. Go to yoga, hug some trees, walk barefoot in nature, establish a gratitude practice. These are all things you can do for free. And so I really encourage that. That's how I experience enlightenment. And I hope you do the same. Please like and subscribe. Take care. Bye.